Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Chelsea versus Preston at Stamford Bridge in the FA Cup third round. To me, this is about as nice, normal, and expected FA Cup tie for the third round you could ask for. It's always good to be at Stamford Bridge because then you'd think that Chelsea should be able to get the better of most opposition, particularly those in a lower league. Preston are currently sat in 14th place in the Championship. They started the season really well. They were in and around the playoff places, and then they've kind of petered off. They've only won, as I look here, one of their last five, losing four of them. So they're not really in the best form. They don't score loads of goals. They concede about average for where they're placed in the Championship table. Surely this should be plain sailing, cruise into the fourth round of the FA Cup, hopefully get a good draw, and then start doing a double dream, potentially, of Wembley with Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup semi-final with a place at Wembley at stake. This could still be an amazing Chelsea season. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not been good so far. We're currently in 10th place. We're 6 points away from 6th in the league. We are 2 matches away from a Wembley date on the 25th of February, potentially against Liverpool or maybe even Fulham if they can get past Liverpool. And Preston is the opening hurdle of this year's FA Cup run. The FA Cup is a competition that I absolutely love. It gives you that opportunity to dream of Wembley, which by default gives you that opportunity to dream about seeing a Chelsea player, a Chelsea captain, an entire team lift a trophy above their heads, and it goes down in history as another monumental moment in our club's history. Preston North End, well, like I said, I think this could be a nice tie for Chelsea. Preston aren't in the best of form. They're not having a worldy season. I don't look at this as a banana skin that is like a really slippery one. I think any match against lower league opposition in the Cups is always a bit slippery. Remember Bradford? Back in the day, they almost beat us, or they did beat us, I can't remember now, at Stamford Bridge. It was like a 4-2. Maybe we actually lost, I can't remember. But there's always the opportunity, whether it's the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, that you can see the big boys slip. However, Chelsea are in good form. If you look at us over the Christmas period, I said in the podcast, 10 points from the 4 matches that we played against, I think, Wolves, Palace, Fulham, and Luton would have been brilliant. We got 9. It's not that bad. The Wolves result was awful. Since then, we've won, and we've got the chance here to go 3 matches in a row, winning every single game. Which when you start to look at that, and then you think about, we've got Fulham at home in the league, which will be tough, but we could win that. We should win that. 2 matches against Middlesbrough, also a Championship side, who are 12th in the Championship. And you start to think, well, there's a run here that Chelsea could be going into, a match at Anfield with serious confidence. You've also got the January transfer window, which, by the way, every day here on GBFC, there is a Chelsea transfer news video going up between the hours of 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning UK time. Check the link in the description to watch today's. I've got a funny feeling that this could be a good day for Chelsea. I think we're going to beat Preston, and I'm going to tell you now, the team that I believe is going to have enough to go to Stamford Bridge, get the job done on, I don't know what the weather's like in the UK right now, but I can't imagine it's beautiful. But we begin with a man who made a beautiful save against Luton, which has actually been nominated for Save of the Month for the month of December. Petrovic is my number 1 goalkeeper right now at Chelsea. I don't think we're going to be signing a number 1 that is just like that rocket man Elton John straight to the top of the Chelsea goalkeeping charts. We're not going to sign that guy in January. So Petrovic is going to have to do something drastically bad. Touch wood, my desk is a thick wooden desk. He's going to have to do something awful, in my opinion, to allow Sanchez to come straight back into this Chelsea team. I think Petrovic is a good goalie. You've seen he's got big arms, he makes big saves, and he looks very comfortable on the ball, and his distribution is better than Sanchez. For that reason, he's my number 1, and he stays in goal here in the FA Cup against Preston. We move into a back 4. Constantly changing centre-back pairings, but Thiago Silva, I think, will be rested in the FA Cup. Malo Gusto continues at right back. Disasi, Badiashile, with Levi Colwill continuing at left back, despite me saying over and over again, I want to see players playing in their positions. Ben Chilwell, he's coming back to fitness. He's not ready yet. And as we have seen with the constant reoccurring injuries of so many Chelsea players, even when Ben Chilwell is ready, he is going to be slowly eased back into this Chelsea team. So as of right now, Levi Colwill is the obvious and first choice left back at the club. Malo Gusto is a player that I want to speak about a little bit here. What I love about Gusto is just how comfortable he looks in that right back position. We've seen in recent games, Noni Madueke's been on that right wing, who is also willing to put in a bit of dirty work, get his shin pads dirty. No, that's not the right way. Get his kneecaps dirty to get back and protect Malo Gusto. But also, it's not just protection that is making Gusto look like a good right back. It's his ability to go forward as well. He likes to cut inside. I think he's a really intelligent footballer. Axel Disasi, if you saw the tier list video from yesterday, I think he's had a good season. Badia Shiel, we also need to see consistency from this man, but I think this is a good enough Chelsea backline. We've been conceding a lot of goals. I wouldn't be surprised, and of course I give my score prediction once I've given my full team. Wouldn't be surprised to see Preston score, but looking at this here, they've only managed 31 goals this season, and even teams below them in the table have scored more. So it's not like there's an abundance of goals that we should be worried about, but it's Chelsea. We don't know what we're going to get game by game. We move into a midfield 3, but it could be like a 2, and then if we're going to, you can make up your own mind what this is going to be, but it's going to be something cross between a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1, and there is a player most advanced that just has to play in this position. But the midfield 3 that I'm going to put down here on this graphic is Enzo. Not sure about Enzo right now, but I do think Caicedo's been playing a lot of football. So if Enzo is fit, then maybe this is the kind of game that can ease him back into full fitness. Conor Gallagher, who's obviously in there, and Cole Palmer. That is the midfield 3 that I'm going for. It's a debate at the moment. Do you rest Enzo, who's been recovering from the surgery or the hernia or whatever it was? Or do you rest Caicedo, who's playing a lot of football, but maybe isn't fully up to speed for the levels that we'd want him to be at just now? I think we go with this. I think we're going to need progressive passing. We're going to need Enzo to try and break down that Preston line. And when you look further up the field here, there's so much potential for dynamic movement across my front line, with Cole Palmer obviously being a bit deeper, with Enzo to try and see those passes. You've got the engine, you've got the legs of Conor Gallagher to break up what is probably going to be an incredibly low block for Preston. I don't think this is going to be one of those FA Cup games that is just end-to-end, action, 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 goals, goals, goals. Chelsea are going to have to work hard. So what I've tried to do as we move further up the field is include as many players as possible that have the ability to unlock teams with intricacy, with movement, with running and dynamism. So as we move into the front 3, I've brought Raheem Sterling back into the team for this one. It's one of those where there's still a lot of football to be played in January. We've got 2 cup semi-finals. We have got a league game sandwiched in there with Fulham, and then we go to Liverpool. I just think we will see a bit of rotation. I wouldn't say this is Noni Madueke being dropped, because he's been absolutely fantastic. And I think at the moment, I would be picking him over Sterling game after game. He just seems to have that buzz about him. He seems to have a point to prove, which is always good for a player. But I've picked Sterling. I have also gone with Mudryk on the left, and I think this could be one of those games where we see him really important, get himself a goal or assist. And then I've gone with Christopher Nkunku, kind of operating as like a false 9. At this point in time, we need to see a lot more from Nkunku, and I'm not giving him critique here necessarily, because obviously he had a massive injury. He's easing himself back in, and I think Pochettino is managing that as well as he possibly could. But I want to see him used here as a false 9. When you look at this month of January, all of the games that Chelsea play up until that match at Anfield, with Nicholas Jackson not even available for selection because he's at AFCON with Senegal, you've got to look and think, well, we need to find a system here that enables us to score goals and that can still give us that defensive stability that we've not necessarily had for a couple of months now, with so many goals being conceded. I think here you've got a team that will work hard. I still think there is a lot of questions about Mudryk's defensive work rate, but I think all in all, he's improving dramatically in all areas. Raheem Sterling, I think you're there for the experience. And Christopher Nkunku, I just really want to see this guy play as a false 9. With Cole Palmer in there as well, Enzo playing the balls forward, the industry of Gallagher. I think this Chelsea team, even if Preston just go and they're like, look, We know what you guys don't like. You don't like breaking through a low block. You're going to press us, but we're just going to stand still and be like, we play in the Championship every week, mate. Break us down. Do what you need to do, and we're going to slide in. Try and break your legs a couple of times. Touch wood. Hope that doesn't happen. But I think there is a lot of dynamism in this side. You've got players like Noni that can come off the bench. And I think this should be good enough to beat Preston North End at home. If I'm sitting here saying it should be good enough, then I think I'm doing an injustice. We're in good form right now. We've got to build upon this. And I want to see Christopher Nkunku be that guy to unlock the Preston defence. And I think he will. My score prediction for this game, I don't think it's going to be straightforward, but I do think Chelsea get the job done. I'm also going to give us a clean sheet here, which I've not thought or predicted for a very long time. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Preston 0. Don't want to go for anything too crazy. I think Mudryk and Nkunku will score the Chelsea goals. Maybe one of them is a penalty. I think Nkunku will probably take that and score it. But it should be job done. I think Chelsea progress into the 4th round of a competition that we've got to be looking to win. I think on any given day, Chelsea can beat anybody. We have played better against the bigger teams this season. Preston aren't one of those. Let's not make this more difficult than it needs to be. Let's get the job done. Tomorrow, I will be releasing a Chelsea transfer news video in the morning prior to this game, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that. There may be a stream, and there will also be 6 things we learned straight after the match tomorrow night in the game against Preston. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the news from earlier today. If you're not yet following the Chelsea Telegram, there are 2 giveaways currently ongoing. We're giving away one of my hoodies that still aren't on sale because I've got to send them all to the UK first. Cole Palmer signed shirt, and the team from Go Markets have been giving away tons of tickets and even season tickets in the Telegram group chat. So if you're not yet in it, you really are missing out. There is so much stuff going on in there that you guys can get your hands on. There's about 5,500 in there. So if you're in, you've got a chance to win very, very good prizes. So make sure you're there. Check out the vlog channel as well. I'm doing vlogs again in Bali with my girlfriend. It's a load of fun. Check the links in the description for that too. And of course, Shootout, my channel with Eunice. There will be a post up there today. Thank you guys for watching. Come on, you Blues.